Growing up, my mother had to feed 5 of us on one single paycheck. So today I'm going to bring to you some 70s cooking, an old family favorite, hamburger gravy. I'm going to need some bigger equipment for this than a standard frying pan because, well, it needs a lot of real estate. So I'm going to use my electric skillet. You've seen this before. And let's get that sucker plugged in. And then we're going to start sauteing some peppers and onions. Simply what we're going to do is actually just put a little olive oil in here, let it get hot. And then we're going to drop in some peppers and onions and get them sauteed up. I tend to save things. So when I know an onion is this close to maybe going soft, I chop it up, put it in a bag and freeze it. And I've done the same here with this bell pepper. I have this griddle going nice and hot, and I'm going to go ahead and drop these in. And they're frozen, so they're going to spit a bit. But these are basically farm fresh. I have here some garlic powder, just for a little extra flavor. And even though a certain member of my house isn't a fan of it, I'm going to put a little bit of a pinch of salt in here. We're going to brown this up. Now, as you can see, this is browned up really nicely. The onions are starting to caramelize. The peppers are nice and soft. So now into that pan, I am putting 1.5 pounds of ground beef. We're going to break that up, which I guess is still partially frozen. And we're going to brown that, and I'll come back in a minute. Now you can see that this hamburger is not cooked, shall we say, perfectly, but there are some nice crispy brown edges, which is something I always look for. You don't want it cooked 100% because we still have a lot of cooking to do here. So now what I'm going to do is add, this is about 2 cups of beef stock along with some canned mushrooms. And we're going to get that cooking. So we're going to turn this heat down to a nice regular low. And we're going to let this simmer for about, well, an hour, because we're looking for a nice thick gravy. Now to that end, I have here 2 tablespoons of flour and 1 teaspoon each of pepper, parsley, cilantro, savory, basil, and cumin. Cumin because I'm feeling saucy today. So we're going to beat all of this together, and again, this is cold water. Make sure you get the lumps out of the flour. And we're going to pour that right in. All of that seasoning is actually carried through on this water and flour. We're just going to stir this in. You can see that the texture is already changing. And again, we have this on a nice low simmer, and it's going to just sit here. Every now and again, I'm going to give it a stir. And there it is, a nice, simple dish, packed with flavor, lots of goodness in there, peppers, onions, mushrooms, nice, delicious seasoning, and beautifully browned ground beef. All of this is going right over the top of some perfectly mashed potatoes with a nice side of green beans. Thank you for joining me on Cooking for Real today, where I'm not only cooking for real, I'm cooking for you.